All right, Lakers Nation, buckle up because we're diving into one of those topics that always seems to stir the pot. Yes, we're talking about Zach LaVine, and I know. Some of y'all were relieved when we moved on from that storyline a while back, but guess what? He's back in the conversation. And depending on how this offseason shakes out, things could get real spicy for the purple and gold. Now, before we go wild with the trade machine, let's look at how this even becomes remotely possible, because right now, it's not about what's likely. It's about what's possible if the right pieces fall into place. So, let's rewind a bit and remember why Zach LaVine ever made sense for the Lakers in the first place. Back when it was just LeBron James and Anthony Davis running the show, there was this glaring hole. A shot creator, somebody who could get his own bucket, take pressure off LeBron, and carry the scoring load when AD was either on the bench or, well, nursing yet another injury, and that's where LaVine fit perfectly. A dynamic scorer who could slash, shoot, play off the ball, handle on the ball. He checked all the boxes offensively. Now, the contract. Yeah, that was always the sticky part. You're talking about over $45, almost $50 million a year. And for a team already tight on cap space, that just wasn't realistic. But fast forward to today. Things have changed. We're in this post-Luka trade era, assuming that deal really happened like some of the buzz suggests. And with a player like Doncic now on the roster, the offensive hierarchy shifts completely. Suddenly, you've got a top-tier primary ball handler who commands double teams and opens the floor for everyone else. In that kind of system, does LaVine still make sense? Maybe not at that same monstrous salary, but if he hits the buyout market, now you've got something entirely different on your hands. Imagine this for a second. Zach LaVine, available on a veteran minimum deal. I mean, come on, that would be absolutely insane. Forget the price tag, forget the past drama, forget everything else. You put that guy next to Luka and LeBron, and it's a wrap. You don't hesitate. You don't overthink it, you just do it. You call him up, you roll out the red carpet, and you make it happen. Now, obviously, there are big questions here, like, why in the world would a team buy out a guy they just traded for? Let's talk about Sacramento for a minute, because that's where this whole possibility gets some legs from everything that's circulating right now. It sounds like Sacramento is seriously pursuing Jonathan Kuminga. The front office sees him as a key piece for their future, but to get him, they need to shed some real salary. The Kings are hard-capped at the first apron because of the Dennis Schroeder sign-and trade, and that creates a very tight financial situation. Now they don't want to give up Keegan Murray, understandably. And Golden State reportedly has no interest in Malik Monk, so how do the Kings get this done? Here's where it gets complicated. They'd either need to find a team willing to absorb salary, which is unlikely given how inflated some of these contracts are, or they'd need to bite the bullet and buy someone out. And if that's the path they go down, it likely comes down to one of two guys, DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine. Now, DeRozan makes more sense as a buyout candidate for a few reasons. First, his contract is significantly lower, almost half the value of LaVine's. Second, his deal has some non-guaranteed elements and performance clauses that make it a bit more flexible. Third, he's older, less of a long-term investment, and probably doesn't align as well with Sacramento's future plans. But let's not rule out LaVine just yet. There's a world where he looks at the situation, sees that he's not in the long-term plans, and maybe even asks for a buyout. Maybe he takes less money to chase a title. That's not out of the realm of possibility, especially if he's serious about competing for a championship and playing meaningful basketball again. And if that door even cracks open just a little bit, man, the Lakers need to kick it wide open. Picture this: Luka, LeBron, and LaVine sharing the floor. You've got LaVine spacing the floor as one of the best catch-and-shoot threats in the league. We're talking about a guy who just last season hit nearly 45% from deep on over 7 attempts a game. That's not a fluke. That's elite, high-volume shooting, and we're not even factoring in his explosiveness. He's a vertical threat, a slasher, a guy who can attack closeouts, run in transition, and create mismatches constantly. Defenders have to respect his shot, which opens up driving lanes not just for him, but for everyone else on the floor. Let's be honest, he's a better offensive player than Austin Reeves. I know that might ruffle some feathers because Reeves is a fan favorite, and he does a lot of things well. He's a smart player, great in the pick and roll, solid playmaker, but LaVine is just on another level as a pure scorer. He's more athletic, more explosive, and puts way more pressure on the rim. If you've got Luka drawing doubles and LeBron orchestrating from the post or the top of the key, LaVine becomes deadly as an off-ball weapon. It's almost unfair, and if we're being real, if the Lakers were willing to chase Bradley Beal before, there's no reason they shouldn't be all over Zach LaVine if he becomes available. In fact, LaVine arguably fits better. Beal's great, but LaVine brings more athleticism, better shooting, and better defensive tools, especially off the ball. Now let's talk numbers. This past season, LaVine played 74 games and started every single one of them. That alone is big because durability has been a knock on him in the past. He averaged over 35 minutes per game, nearly 37 after he landed in Sacramento, and in that span, he put up over 23 points per night with crazy efficiency. 51% from the field, nearly 45% from deep, and over 82% from the free throw line. He also chipped in over for rebounds and for assists per game, plus a steal and half a block. That's not just good. That's borderline all-star level production. And he did all of that without Luka or LeBron creating space for him. Imagine how much easier the game becomes for him in LA. You're asking him to do less, but his impact could be so much greater. You don't need him to be the number one option. You just need him to do what he already does best: score efficiently, stretch the floor, and give you another weapon when defenses collapse on your stars, and the Lakers wouldn't even need to gut the roster to make this happen, not if it's a buyout. That's the magic of it. You're not talking about sending out multiple first-round picks or matching contracts, or triggering hard cap issues. You're just adding talent, pure and simple. Look, I get it, nothing's guaranteed. Maybe Sacramento figures something out and keeps both LaVine and DeRozan. Maybe another team swoops in with a trade offer. Maybe he never gets bought out. But if there's even a sliver of a chance, a whisper that he might hit free agency, you have to be ready. You have to be aggressive. You don't let a player like that slip through your fingers for free. Not when you've got LeBron in the twilight of his career, and Luka ready to carry the torch. And don't even get me started on lineup possibilities. You throw LaVine in there with Luka, LeBron, Herb Jones, and someone like Adri Ayton down low. Are you kidding me? That's a squad that can switch, defend, run, shoot, everything. That team's walking into the postseason with a real shot at the finals. And if you decide to keep Reeves, fine, he comes off the bench and runs the second unit. But LaVine starts, no question. He gives you too much value, too much firepower, and too many options to sit behind anyone right now. He's that good when he's healthy. And last season proved that he can stay on the court and still produce at an elite level. So yeah, this might all just be speculation for now. But that's what the offseason is for, seeing the angles before they happen. And if this angle leads to Zach LaVine in a Lakers jersey, even on a minimum deal, man, that's a dream scenario. The kind of move that doesn't just shake up the West, it might decide who wins the whole thing. Now let's go a little deeper into what Zach LaVine really brings to the table and why. In a system like the one the Lakers are shaping up to have, he could genuinely be a difference maker, not just a flashy name. A lot of people get caught up in the star aspect of LaVine, and yeah, sure, he's been an all-star. He's had highlight dunks, he's got the reputation. But what gets overlooked constantly is how fundamentally efficient his game has become. This is not the same LaVine from a few years back, who was just an athletic freak with streaky shooting. This guy has polished his game, rounded it out, and found real consistency, especially from deep and off movement. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. Los Angeles may be on the verge of an off-season shakeup unlike anything fans have seen in years. In what's rapidly becoming the biggest buzz of the NBA summer, whispers are growing louder about a potential blockbuster move involving both Jeremy Grant and Andrew Wiggins joining the Lakers on the same night, while nothing has been confirmed. Sources close to the situation suggest that Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office have been quietly working behind the scenes, exploring a dual acquisition that would send shockwaves through the Western Conference. The idea of pairing LeBron James and Anthony Davis with two versatile two-way wings like Grant and Wiggins has set the basketball world ablaze with speculation. The deal, if it materializes, would mark a stunning escalation in the Lakers' aggressive pursuit of a 2025 championship. Grant, currently with the Portland Trail Blazers, has long been seen as a dream fit for LA, a switchable defender who can score at all three levels. Meanwhile, Wiggins, an NBA champion with the Warriors, brings playoff experience, perimeter defense, and scoring punch that could perfectly complement LA's star duo. Insiders are torn on how this would be financially possible, but some believe a multi-team trade could be in the works, potentially involving players like D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and multiple future picks. There's also speculation that both Portland and Golden State may be looking to retool, opening the door for bold moves. No official announcements have been made, but the timing of the leaks, both names surfacing within hours, has fans reading between the lines. Could the Lakers really pull off a double swing that would instantly elevate them back to title contention? Or is this another summer sizzle with no fire for now? It's just a rumor, but in Los Angeles, even whispers echo loudly. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.